Hi there and welcome back to the World Tour Wednesdays, where today we are in China. Now, I've already reviewed one song, which was a rather interesting girl band song. If you haven't seen that video already, feel free to go back and check it out before you watch this one. We'll try and put a little link in the description so you can go between the videos. James has just checked out a song which I didn't see it myself, but I believe he did a hip-hop song from the little bit that I gathered from his video. I'm going to be watching that after I've done this as well. And now I've got a video that I wanted to post, which was, I thought, let's find a rock band. Now, I first tried to find a rock band that really fused traditional Chinese sounds with sort of modern Chinese rock styles, but it was kind of difficult for me to do, and it's a difficult thing because obviously as we're doing these World Tour Wednesdays, as I've said in other videos, we like to move on to a different country each week. It's not to say that we won't go back and check some things in retrospect if you guys can suggest them for a further review, but we want to try and get it right first time, and I was finding it a bit difficult to find something, considering I didn't reliably know any Chinese artists myself who I could rely on. I was finding it difficult to find something that would be rewarding, so I thought let's have a look and see what kind of rock bands there are. Now, one band name came up which, I don't know, considering everything I just said, this may be a very ill-advised one. I have no idea anything about this band, but the band appears to be called Twinkle Star, and they've got a song called The End of the New Beginning, which just everything about this screams this is going to be strange, or maybe it's just deceptive and it's not strange at all, but they look to be a relatively popular rock band in China, and I think considering, let's be honest, I don't want to get overly political with this, but China is one of those countries where rebellion is perhaps not the wisest thing to do, so, you know, rock bands are perhaps not going to be something you're going to see so much of in China anyway. But I did do a little bit of looking. There's a lot of metal bands that came up, but the problem with metal bands, 99% of them sound the same in every single country. The rare metal bands who stand out tend to be a brilliant thing, but most of the time you're listening to the same thing. So I thought, let's go for this relatively, perhaps radio-friendly looking rock band. I have no idea what I'm about to hear, so I might be completely blown away by just how incredibly wrong I am. And yeah, we've got everything plugged in and ready to go. So this is, it was interesting that it was titled as Music Video for Rock Band from China, and then Twinkle Star, The End of the New Beginning. So they're kind of accepting that they're not already massively famous, and they're trying to get interest from people looking for Chinese music, so they've reeled me in, no trouble. Here we go, let's have a listen to Twinkle Star, The End of the New Beginning. Nice beat. Love the synth use. I was not expecting this to be in English. For better or for worse, and I say that advisedly, who else feels like they're listening to Simple Plan right now? I've heard about people hanging the toilet roll inside or against the wall. Crazy. I've never heard of them hanging it from their head before. That was a nice little bass drop there on the tom. Cool where they put their band name in as well. It's a waste of good paper, my dear.
Wow. Okay. The video still has like 3 minutes left, I've just found. Are we going to get another song? What's going on here? Why is the video still going? I want to talk about what I've just seen. Why is it not even halfway through? Is there another video? That was copyright 2012. What's going on here? I can't talk until this video finishes. It's playing again! This is so strange. What have I downloaded? I've downloaded a version of the... I don't know. Maybe something went very wrong there. Oh no, I just said I downloaded the video. I didn't do that. Okay. Let's move on from what we just seen there with the video and instead talk about the actual song. So, okay, that was released in 2012. Like I say, I get real sort of air immediately from, and like I said, don't take this as a criticism initially. I'm going to go into the points in a bit, but just stylistically, I get a real flavour of Simple Plan especially, and that sort of sound that I just sort of think if this was released 10 years earlier, or even like sort of 6 or 7 years earlier in like the mid 2000s, and it was released with a decent backing in America, I think that would have done really well. I don't actually know how well this did do. I don't know how old this band are. Like I said, I'm going into this with no information, and as always, I love the fact that we go into this with no information and you guys give us stuff in the comments and we can see about whether we follow things up. So if you're a fan of the bands, or if not, if you just know anything, feel free to tell me a little bit more. But my initial feeling is this is something that if this had come out in America during that particular time with this sound, it's a good catchy song as well. I mean, that song's got a pretty good impact to it. Yes, it's not for everyone. I know that this particular sound is one that some people find as being between pop punk and emo, and this sound's got as many enemies as it has supporters. I'm willing to accept that from a musical level, this was not the most intricately played, detailed song. I mean, if you're one of the people on this channel, we got a lot of people who are Bandmade fans. Obviously, you compare something like this to something like Bandmade, and you know the musicality is totally different. This is a very simple, straight played sort of style of music, but that's one of the reasons why it works if you're into that kind of thing. Now for me, this is not the sort of music that I listen to so much anymore, but certainly when that was the big thing about 10 or 15 years ago, I was listening to a fair amount of this. Simple Plan, for all of their whingy, awful songs, they did have some really good songs, often hidden in albums and things. So I bought a few of their CDs secondhand. I enjoyed some of their songs, and this kind of reminds me of the better stuff from them, you know. The lyrics, obviously, I'm not going to get too much into lyrics because I'm assuming that English is his second language, or maybe it's not his language at all and he's just writing completely off of like educated information. But yeah, the lyrics were nothing new. They again fell into that particular sound. It was all sort of vague poetry and love stuff. But you know what, it came across, and one of the reasons it came across, one of the things I wanted to mention here is that a lot of the time when you see this is a difficult thing. It might be something that musicians notice more. I don't want to sort of take a pedestal approach to this, but just see if you guys agree on this one. When you see a band, you can see often the difference between a band where the lead singer is performing in a way that suggests that maybe he's watched people on TV growing up and he knows what a lead singer should look like, and he's kind of acting the part, which can be very impressive, very cool. But then you've got that, and then sometimes you've got a singer who just looks like the whole act and everything is just sort of the energy of the music flowing through him. You know, someone who looks like they're really, the music's coming out of them. They're really into what they're doing 110%, and that's why they can't stop moving. Just everything about this guy, down to his like the little twitches and things in his mannerism, he didn't look like he was acting the emo part. He looked like he was 110% into the performance. That's like I say, that's something that as a musician or someone who's worked with musicians you tend to notice. And I think the whole image, the sort of the emo fringes and the dark things and the songs about, sort of feelings and stuff, the lyrics about feelings and stuff, maybe would detract from you looking at it that way. But it did look to me like a band who maybe they've based their style off of these admittedly very American things. There's a vast amount of Americanism in this. There's no doubt about that. There's a lot about it which is derivative and a lot about it which is very American. But you know what? For a group who've based themselves on these things and therefore might actually alienate a Western audience, at least by copying these now somewhat considered dated things or things that are certainly after their cool period, they did it really well. The song was catchy. It was nicely delivered. I do genuinely believe that was quite catchy, even though I wasn't 100% able to pick up all of the lyrics unless they were written at the bottom. It had a catchy sound to it. It was well delivered, and the performance looked pretty spot on. I don't know what was happening with that girl who, she went to the toilet and next thing she knows, she's covered. Or maybe they're trying to suggest that someone had trapped her, but let's face it, if you're going to trap a woman, not that this is something I know about, if you're going to trap a woman, better ways to do it than toilet paper. A little bit degrading as well. Haha, I've trapped you in my toilet roll. Single ply, double ply, I think you can get out of it either way. So, TPing women, not really the best approach. So, I think that to me was something where a lot of the bands who did that sound in the sort of mid-2000s, they went on and developed their sounds to go into different directions, and as they sort of got older, they changed their sound a little bit and found a bit more of a personal identity. I'd be interested to know in the 7 years since this happened whether the band is still together, and if they are together, which I hope they are, what sort of sounds they do. Maybe they had quite a different sound of this before, but this was just pushed forward as a single because it had more of a radio-friendly sound. I'd be really interested to know more about this group, and it might be one that we follow up on, because certainly it's quite rare in our World Tour Wednesdays. We haven't come across many sort of straight rock groups, so I'll be interested to hear more of this, certainly. But for now, there's a lot of questions to be answered in the comments, so guys, get in there, tell me what you think. What did you think of this song? Like I say, if you're one of our fans who's into more of the sort of complicated, musically intricate bands that we listen to on this channel, this one probably isn't so much for you. But then again, we have a lot of people who are into the more sort of simple, just catchy, if you like, light on the complexity, strong on the feeling sort of bands, and I think this would probably be a lot of people on our channel who'd be into that, so I think we're going to get a really mixed response to this one, but I can't wait to see the comments. So anyway, this is our World Tour Wednesday for today, assuming that none of our songs got blocked, or none of our videos got blocked by copyright, because these are all new artists, we don't know. It'd be really ironic if the Chinese got you for copyright. I mean, let's face it, that's not their strong suit. But yeah, Either way, assuming that all of them got uploaded successfully, then there will be 3 World Tour Wednesday China videos that you can check out today, and also be doing some recaps from Mongolia and Korea today as well. So a few videos for you to get through, but thank you so much for tuning in today for this one. Feel free to check out the other videos, like and subscribe if you want to do that stuff, dislike, but comment as well if you do, if you think we're a bunch of arseholes and you don't agree with us. But either way, thank you so much, and for now, ciao ciao.